Foldable phones have been a two-player game for years. Samsung built the category, Google slowly found its footing, and most of the industry watched from the sidelines. Now there's one rumor that's forcing everyone to move faster: the iPhone Fold. Even the possibility of Apple entering the foldable market is putting pressure on Android's biggest names to sharpen their advantage, because when Apple arrives, it rarely competes on specs alone. It competes on the total experience, and that means Samsung and Google need a clear reason for people to choose Android foldables before the iPhone Fold ever hits store shelves. That's where the next big software play comes in, according to current reports. A major free upgrade moment is coming for foldables this summer: Android 17. Paired with a new suite of AI features branded as Gemini Intelligence expected to land on the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8 family and the Google Pixel 11 lineup. If the leaks hold up, this won't be a minor update. This could be the upgrade that turns foldables from cool hardware into genuinely smarter daily tools, and it could set the tone for the first true iPhone Fold versus Galaxy Fold battle. Let's break down what's rumored, why it matters, and where Apple may or may not be behind. The new battlefield: foldables plus agentic AI foldables were always supposed to be productivity phones, bigger screens, better multitasking, more room to do real work. But here's the problem: hardware alone doesn't create a workflow. The real leap happens when software starts connecting the dots across apps, messages, calendars, documents, and everyday tasks without you micromanaging every step. That's the promise of agentic AI, and it's exactly what Gemini Intelligence is rumored to focus on in Android 17. Instead of just answering questions, the AI is positioned as an automation layer, something that can complete multi-step tasks across your phone. And on a foldable where you can run multiple apps side by side, that kind of I could feel like it was built for the form factor. Android 17 on Galaxy Z Fold 8 and Pixel 11. What's supposed to change? The headline rumor is that Android 17 arrives this summer on Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8, Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8 wide, a larger variant mentioned in reports. Google Pixel 11 lineup, and the upgrade focus isn't just visuals or battery tuning. It's a new AI feature stack under the Gemini Intelligence label. If you're wondering what that actually means in daily use, the leaks point to three key ideas: multi-step automation that actually does things. The big selling point is workflow automation across apps. Example scenarios being discussed include: you receive a class syllabus in Gmail, and the AI pulls key items and adds them to a shopping cart. It finds schedule details and proposes gym sessions on your calendar. It reads your notes and builds a grocery list, then helps place the order. That's a different level of AI compared to write me a message or summarize this email. It's not just generating text. It's moving information between apps and taking actions. If it works reliably, it's the kind of feature that can make Android foldables feel years ahead in conveniences, especially for people who live inside calendars, inboxes, and task lists. Create My Widget and the next stage of Android customization. Another rumored feature is Create My Widget, a tool that lets you build custom home screen widgets quickly based on what you want the widget to do. The examples being floated include countdown timers, weekly meal planning, live package, tracking habit reminders, work dashboards for work tasks. And on a foldable, widgets matter more than ever because the home screen isn't just a phone screen. It can feel like a mini workspace when opened. This is where Android's longtime advantage shows up: customization that actually adapts to how you use your device. Foldable multitasking plus AI assist as a combined experience. Samsung and Google already have years of foldable UI learnings: split screen, floating windows, taskbars, drag and drop behaviors, app continuity. Now add an AI system that can coordinate tasks across those apps while you multitask on a larger display. That's the pitch: not just a bigger screen, but a bigger screen that helps you do more with less effort and strategically. That's exactly what Samsung and Google need before Apple enters the space. Because Apple won't sell the iPhone Fold as our first foldable, Apple will sell it as the best way to use an iPhone. Android needs a counterstory that feels tangible. The catch: AI features Live or die by accuracy. Every AI demo looks magical until it makes one wrong assumption and books the wrong time, pulls the wrong document, or changes the wrong setting. So the biggest unanswered question in these Android 17 Plus Gemini intelligence leaks is simple. Will it be accurate enough to trust? Multi-step automation is powerful, but it also amplifies mistakes. If the AI gets one step wrong, the whole workflow breaks. And the more app permissions it has, the higher the stakes. So yes, if these features work smoothly, it's a major win for Samsung and Google. But if they're inconsistent, they'll feel like flashy demos that people disable after the first week. And that brings us directly to Apple, because Apple's likely advantage isn't more AI, it might be less risk. iPhone Fold versus Galaxy Z Fold 8. The real fight might be privacy. Apple's iPhone Fold is still not official, but it's already shaping the decisions of the companies that dominate foldables today. And the most interesting part of this rumored showdown isn't hardware, thickness, or crease. Visibility, its philosophy, the Android 17 Gemini intelligence vision, at least as described, assumes users will be comfortable giving AI deep access to their apps and personal data so it can complete tasks. And one example that captures both the convenience and the concern is this. Gemini searches through Google Photos to find a passport image needed for a flight booking. That's extremely useful. It's also exactly the kind of capability that makes privacy-focused users pause, because it implies an AI system with broad visibility into your photos, your documents, your inbox, your calendar, and your purchasing behavior. Some users will love that. Some users will never enable it. Apple's opportunity is obvious. Position the iPhone Fold as the foldable that does smart things without feeling all-seeing, but Apple can only win that angle if iOS actually delivers meaningful AI improvements without repeating the frustration that's been building around Siri.wwdc June 8th and iOS 27, where Apple might respond with WWDC, rumored to be a major checkpoint for Apple's AI direction. All eyes move to what iOS 27 is expected to bring. One reported idea linked to Bloomberg's Mark Gurman is that iOS 27 may let users choose third-party AI models for image and text generation. That sounds flexible, but here's the key distinction. Choosing an AI model is not the same thing as giving that AI full app control. Gemini Intelligence, as described, isn't just a text generator. It's an action system and automation layer that needs permissions to move between apps, pull context, and execute tasks. So the real question becomes, is Apple willing to ship agentic AI that has deep access to your apps? Because if Apple keeps AI features more limited, focused on privacy and device processing, and narrower permissions than Android foldables may dominate in I can do everything functionality, but Apple could dominate in user trust. And in a premium market where phones are already expensive, trust becomes a feature. Samsung and Google's hidden advantage, years of foldable UI experience. If Apple nails the hardware, foldables are not just a hinge on a screen, they're an interface challenge. App scaling, multitasking behavior, schema, handoff when folded versus unfolded, piping, and UI layouts, continuity between display, status optimizing for real apps, not just system apps. Samsung and Google have been iterating in public for years. And that experience matters especially because first-generation foldables, historically, come with rough edges. That's why the marketing around Galaxy Z Fold 8 and Pixel 11 foldable experiences will likely hit two themes hard. First, we know how this works. Second, our AI is ready to take advantage of the bigger screen. And if Apple's iPhone Fold launches without a deeply integrated agentic AI layer in iOS 27, Samsung and Google will absolutely frame it as Apple arriving late both in foldables and in AI. Galaxy Z Fold 8 versus iPhone Fold. Is Apple actually behind? It depends on what behind means. If behind means fewer AI actions across apps, fewer automation workflows, less customization, less aggressive AI permissions, then yes, Apple could appear behind, especially to power users who want their phone to behave like an assistant. But if behind means less stable, reliabilist, predictablest private apparel may flip that narrative because there's a world where consumers decide they don't want an AI system that can see everything and do everything. And if that mood spreads, especially among premium buyers, Apple's limited but trusted AI could be a selling point, not a weakness. The foldable market in 2027, what buyers should watch if you're trying to future-proof your next upgrade. Watch these 4 signals as the foldable fight heats up. How deep Gemini intelligence permissions really go will. It require broad access to email, photos, notes, files, payments, and third-party apps. And will users feel comfortable enabling it? Whether multi-step automation is reliable in real life, not in demos on day 30. When people are busy and mistakes are costly, Apple's iOS 27 strategy at WWDC does Apple introduce genuine automation and agentic AI? Or does it stay in the text and image generation lane? First generation, iPhone Fold trade-offs. First foldable may be premium, but early iterations often compromise on thickness, durability perceptions, app behaviors, or price. Final take. This isn't just a foldable war, it's an AI philosophy wartha. Phone showdown isn't simply Google versus Samsung versus Apple. It's 2 different ideas of what a smartphone assistant should be. Android 17, with Gemini intelligence, is rumored to push hard into AI that acts AI, connects apps, and executes multi-step tasks with minimal oversight. Apple's likely counter is trust privacy-first design, tighter permissions, and a more controlled AI experience, possibly with optional third-party models in iOS 27 and when the iPhone Fold finally arrives. The difference won't just be a hinge. It'll be the question every buyer will have to answer. Do you want AI that can do more even if it needs deeper access? Or do you want AI that does less but feels safer? Because in the next era of foldables, that choice might matter more than the screen size.